Ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock.
I like how you guys both clear your throat, and I just take a big sip of whiskey.
Yeah. A podcast about bourbon and the ones who drink it. This is Bourbon Matters. Welcome to Bourbon Matters. I'm Jake.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Gold Eagle Jake.
We're going to talk about
Come on, Jake.
Fred Minutes. What? Now you threw off the entire intro. I lost my train of thought. We're going to talk about Fred Minnick's ASCOT Awards. But first, Jake took the whole Gold Eagle crew down to Kentucky last week, which you probably could see on Instagram, at least parts of that. So yeah, you wanted to talk a little bit about that trip, right? It looked like you guys had a blast.
Sure. Yeah, I can kind of go through a little bit. First off, you know how they say it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. That's a fun and games statement until somebody actually has to do it. Because a week in Kentucky drinking bourbon every day sounds like a ton of fun. I was like dead at the end of the week. Came back with a cold, still getting over it now. If you can't tell, I'm still a little stuffed up. But no, we had a ton of fun. It was really cool to bring some of our core group down there for the first time. Two of the guys had never been to Kentucky before. One of them had just been down there to visit one distillery super quickly with some family. So it was really cool to kind of bring them and show them the ropes and get them some exposure at some of the distilleries and get to see what we get to do when we go down there constantly, because it's pretty difficult for us to bring a bunch of people down. As you would imagine, we're a pretty small crew at the store. So bringing a bunch of the guys down, we had to shut down the bar for a couple days and really didn't have a lot going on at the store when we were gone. Thankful for our 2 or 3 employees that stayed back to work open to close every day so that we could do that. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. Did 4 great barrel picks. We went to, I'm going to lose my train of thought on where we stopped. But first we stopped at Peerless. Second day we did barrel pick at Four Roses. Did some behind the scenes stuff at Jim Beam. Did 2 barrel picks at Bardstown Bourbon Company, Dan's favorite. First we picked a bourbon from Bardstown Bourbon Company, and we weren't even planning on picking a rye, but they just happened to have some rye samples. You guys know how that goes. And we tasted them, and the rye was by far unanimously the favorite pick that we did on the trip from everyone that was down there. And then we finished up with an Elijah Craig barrel. So 4 really, really good picks, stuff that you don't see us drop every day. So looking forward to these to arrive at the store, and we're going to post them first come, first serve as soon as they arrive.
Nice.
So, the 4 places you went to, who does the best roll out of the red carpet for you guys?
So all those places are very good, but I would probably say Bardstown Bourbon Company, number 1, because they treated us to lunch at the distillery after the pick, and then they also treated us to dinner that night. After we got back to our Airbnb, we went out to dinner, and they took us out to a nice dinner. So that was pretty cool. Very nice of them, very generous of them to do that. But also Four Roses did give us a aged in ore bottle bag, everyone in our group. So that was pretty cool. Heaven Hill, Elijah Craig, I can't really say anything negative about them because they are like amazing hosts and super nice people, but they didn't really do anything like above and beyond like that. Not that we ever expect that, but it's kind of just like a nice touch when they do take you out to dinner, or give you something, a nice gift to take home.
Nice.
Yeah. But also, second part of the trip, so the Gold Eagle employees came back on Thursday, and I stayed down for an extra 2 days to hang with one of our distributors, BC Merchants. And we did a lot of behind the scenes things with their brands. So we went to a few places that I had never been. We went to Jeptha Creed, which I had never been there. I've driven by it many times. But they are kind of similar to Whiskey Acres in the sense that they farm their own grain for their bourbon, and they primarily use the Bloody Butcher corn.
Yeah.
So Jephthah was cool. We went to another place that I had never heard of, Whiskey House. Have you guys heard of Whiskey House?
It sounds familiar, but I can't remember. I must have read an article about it.
So brand new. They just opened up a little over a year ago. It was started by the people who started Bardstown Bourbon Company before
Oh,
they
yeah, that's
sold
right.
Bardstown Bourbon Company to the Pritzkers. So what's interesting here is when they sold Bardstown Bourbon Company, they were not asked to sign a non-compete. So what did they do? They took that money and they opened up Whiskey House right away, and pretty much are doing the same thing, except for they have no plans to ever release their own brand. They're only going to be doing contract distilling,
Hmm.
which I think is very smart on their part, especially because a lot of the things they were telling us was that Bardstown Bourbon Company is now, Bardstown Bourbon Company was built to be a contract distiller, and now they're trying to focus more on their own brand, and kind of pushing off some of these contracts that they had in place. And brands are getting a little bit flustered with them, who need them to be distilling some of their juice. Bardstown Bourbon Company is kind of pushing them off and not holding up their word on producing as much as they said they would, because they're distilling more of their own stuff now.
Yeah, and if I'm remembering right, Whiskey House is set up to be like an absolutely massive contract
Yeah, they
distiller,
are.
right?
So right now they are. They're still below what Bardstown Bourbon Company produces, but their whole entire operation was built to expand. So they
Hmm.
plan on continuously expanding. I mean, this place was like a huge, uh, it was just like a huge factory, but like modern, and industrial, and just very shiny, everything new, of course. But yeah, this place was built to produce a lot of whiskey, and very interesting that they have no desire or plans to ever create their own brand. They're just going to be distilling for other brands, and they have some pretty heavy hitters in there. Like we the guy that we met with, spent 45 years at MGP, just dealing with contracts at MGP. So they brought in some guys who really know what they're doing on the contract side of things, to get this place up and running.
Yeah, I think that is a good move on their part. With that, inside info about Bardstown kind of pushing back on contract distilling, we know that like stocks at MGP are kind of dwindling, as they're trying to pivot towards their own brands. Um, you know, Middle West is now focusing on their own brands, more. So I think they're in a good spot probably to be a top-notch contract distiller.
Yeah, I
I know
mean,
Dan's
especially.
gonna say, "Oh, the whiskey bubble and blah blah blah."
Well, yeah, I'll just say it for Dan. I mean, there is a lot of market saturation starting to happen. There's a lot of brands competing, and we're starting to see some prices come down so that brands can take a little bit more of that market share. But just think about, if we're seeing that a little bit now, where's the market going to be in 6 to 10 years down the line? Because
Hmm.
whiskey needs to age, of course. So yeah, I think I would not. I definitely wouldn't start a distillery now. Would I wish I had to started one 10 years ago? Maybe. But I wouldn't start a distillery right now unless you had some wizard master distiller come in and do everything for you who really knows what they're doing. But still, um, that's 5 to 10 years down the road. I'm not confident that I'm going to have good enough whiskey to take some of the market share that is going to be available at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're going to have to come up and be able to produce more, better, and cheaper than the MGPs and stuff that are already out there.
Right.
And we know that they're not going to be able to do it cheaper than MGP, so now they're going to be competing against price, and they're always going to be higher on price. It's going to be really, really tough in a crowded market. So, yeah, I don't... a little risky, but...
Yeah. But if you did want to start
on... I was going to say, focusing more on like an industrial output, kind of system. You don't have the overhead of tours and all that crap, is a better move.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about selling it. Like it's already sold before you even start making it. Whether the bottles are going to sell or not, you're getting your money from it, no matter what. So I think it's a good move on their part. I think it's a good move if you're a new brand, not to purchase any of that distilling equipment and just go to somebody like Whiskey House and tell them what you want to do, or just have them do it for you and then worry about that, 5 to 6 years down the road once your whiskey is mature.
Mm-hmm.
So Jake, on the trip, give us some fun stories that you can tell that's not going to make anyone at the store feel dumb. Unless it's Drew, then feel free to make Drew feel dumb. If there's a really
I don't know if I can really say everything. I gotta be careful here, but we did have to carry Drew to bed every night. I mean, it kind of is Vegas. It kind of is Vegas for these guys, I mean, Drew's talking about bourbon every day. He's pouring bourbon for people, and he's never been to the motherland. So, this was we had to warn him that, hey, you got to pace yourself. We're doing 4 to 5 distilleries a day. For 2-3 days in a row, so it's definitely a marathon, not a sprint. But yeah, we did have to carry him and put him in his bed each night. Thankfully, most of his drinking happened back at the Airbnb.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
look at him learning. Look at him growing up right in front of our own eyes.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, geez. That's good. So now what do you got to do for the people that had to stay behind at the store? Because I feel like they got slighted now and they need to get something.
Yeah, well, I mean, the people that did stay are, older. Like they almost had the option, like they were more so happy to stay back. I'm sure in the future on the next trip, I will ask 1 or 2 of them if they want to come down. And I know one of them definitely won't want to, and the other one maybe will. It's kind of a toss up. So, but yeah, can't bring everyone. Then we'd have to shut down the store for 3 or 4 days, and we can't do that.
Oh, that won't hurt profit.
No, not at all. But going back to the Whiskey House thing here briefly, have you guys heard of Resilient Bourbon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually a brand that was started by the guy. No, started by the guy who started BC Merchants, which was the distributor that I went down with. These guys are like probably the best boutique-y distributor. Outside of the big guys, they're hands down the best. They distribute for Willet, Dark Arts. They used to have Wilderness Trail before they were bought by Campari. And they have a lot of imported stuff that is just really, really good, like bar and cocktail ingredients. Anyway, so Resilient was always built off of a little bit of Tennessee and mostly MGP. And he is completely switching it over to Whiskey House, which is part of the reason why we went there. So we did get to taste some of his barrels that were the oldest he had was 10 months, just because they started about a year ago. But for 10 month whiskey. It was really, really good.
Nice.
So looking
Is
forward to see.
Resilience like the bottle with like the flag on it and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
uh-huh, yeah. So
They
yeah,
usually
definitely
have like
looking.
some like 15-year like
They used
releases
to.
and stuff like
They
that, right?
used
Yeah.
to. Yeah, they used to. When I started working at the store, they had like 15-year MGP that was just sitting on the shelf collecting dust. Those days are
Yeah.
long gone, and they kind of went to some older Tennessee. And now lately they've pretty much just been releasing like 6 to 7 year MGP, and playing around with some different finishes. Which another place that we went to that I never would have gotten to go to if it wasn't for going with this distributor was Bluegrass Bottling. And there's nothing to see there. We sat in a trailer and drank some whiskey for a couple hours, but it is kind of cool to see the other side of things that the public never gets to see, because they do a ton of bottling for a bunch of smaller brands, and it's
Mhm.
like middle of nowhere in Kentucky. Yeah, so that was kind of cool to see that. We got to taste just some of the resilient different finishes that he had going on there and give him some feedback on when to bottle that stuff. But yeah, that was cool to see the other side of things that I don't normally get to see, and probably most of the listeners would never get to see.
Yeah, that's cool. So are people shipping their barrels to them and then they dump and bottle, or are they
Yeah,
like, is it tanks of whiskey that they're just bottling?
both. So they're shipping them tanks, or they're mostly just doing finishing there. Uh, so they're not really like doing full maturation there. But
Mhm.
if you got finishing barrels that you want to use, you can ship tanks there, and they'll finish them for you, and then send you samples every so often. So
Nice. Yeah, that's cool to see.
yeah. Where else? I'm trying to think. Oh, we did stop at Dark Arts. We stopped at their new place in downtown Lexington. Super cool building. If you're ever in Lexington, definitely make sure you swing by there. They have phenomenal cocktails, in a really, really cool tasting bar that's kind of set up as just like a bunch of different little rooms inside the building, so you can go hang out with a small group of 6 to 8 people and all these different rooms that they have going on. So that was very cool. Shout out to Macaulay. We definitely got to get him on the podcast. I know we've been saying it for a while, but
Hmm.
yeah. And we did go to Willet with BC Merchants. Unfortunately, nothing too crazy happened at Willet, but that was still fun to check that out with the crew. And then we did go to Barrel Craft's new facility that opened a couple years ago, that isn't really open to the public. So we got to see where they do all their blending, got to see their massive tanks and all their finishing barrels there as well. And we got to
Nice.
taste a new release that is going to be dropping this Friday. So by the time this episode airs, it'll already drop at Gold Eagle. But kind of a cool concept. It's a decades bourbon, or not bourbon, whiskey, because it's Canadian whiskey. But it's 20 year, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 30-year Canadian whiskey blended together, finished in a couple different barrels, and it's 143 proof. So that one's definitely
Wow.
going to get some buzz. Did not taste like 143 proof for sure.
Jeez.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that is kind of a quick summary on what we did down in Kentucky. I'm looking through my pictures right now, see if I missed anything, but
Would you end up getting it peerless?
um, we didn't end up picking anything because we just did 2 picks a couple months ago down there. But we just hung out with
Hmm.
John and tasted a few different things and gave us a really quick tour. We also, another place we went to, I think this is the only place I forgot, is we went to Good Times, Cox's Creek.
Hmm.
nothing to see there. They just have a bunch of barrels and let you taste as much as you want. So you can probably imagine how that went, with a ton of different things. So from Good Times, we're probably going to be just ordering in some different special kind of finished stuff that doesn't normally come to the Illinois market. We actually do really well with Good Times. I know they have a hit or miss, from what people think about them, but we sell a ton of it and we ship a lot of it. So there's definitely people out there that are looking for it.
Nice.
But yeah, that is my summary.
I'm glad you guys had a good time at Bardstown. I'm also glad that we ended up doing our barrel pick as the beautiful band and not having it out there.
I mean, you would have loved it. Stop lying to yourself.
That was like your favorite place
I like
on the
being at
tour.
the distillery. Am I buying that product anymore? No. But, I just like you guys wanted me to go down there and do a rye barrel pick with you guys. And I'm glad we stumbled across when we did the beautiful band.
Matt wanted us to do a rye barrel pick with him.
I'm sure we'll do
you guys
more.
were telling me that
We'll do more picks.
Oh, we will.
Well, it was a good opportunity. We both love that bottle a lot, and they do take care of you when you go there. Love them or hate them, they do take care of you. So,
I've always said it's a beautiful place down there. I'd love to eat at the restaurant.
Well, I mean, you're in Utah now, so you're not going to do any barrel picks with us anymore. Anyway.
Fine, the first one's going to be the best one anyways. So at least in my name's not going to be any of the worst ones. But maybe that would be one, Jake, that we should throw into Minix Awards for next year.
Ooh, that would be a good one.
Yeah,
actually.
If that wins, then all of a sudden our name gets out there and we might like double listeners.
double our listenership.
We only have to wait 12 months.
Yeah.
Well, you got to send it in like January or February.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in. I would definitely help support that.
I would say throw that in.
I think it would do well.
I think it would too.
Yeah.
Tell Kevin we do it too. I bet Kevin would chip in on it too.
Because there's a younger bourbon category. We could also put it in the finished bourbon category.
Yeah.
You pick one category per bottle. I think we want to put it in
Right, but you could send 2 bottles.
Yeah, that's true.
Enter twice, but
Yeah.
Such a scam. We need to figure out how to capitalize on that type of a scam.
Yeah. Pay me $400 and send me your whiskey.
Yeah.
I'll get it right. I wish we should have just started wearing ASCOTs earlier, but
Yeah.
no, it is. I mean, these came out. When did this come out? Not too long ago. June 24th. Yeah, so a few weeks ago.
my birthday.
Usually June. Usually around June, San Francisco Spirits doesn't have all their awards out yet. They have what everyone's placed in, but they don't have their best in show out yet. But Fred Minnick has all of their awards done. And they have kind of the best in category. I'm still trying to get the best in show to load in. But that seems to be having an issue. Fix your website, Fred. But first one, so we're only going to really care about, and then I'll go through like some of the double platinum winners that we can talk about too, because there's some cool stuff to notice in there. Their bourbon of the year, I haven't had hardly any of their whiskey stuff. I've had one. But their bourbon of the year is Old Soul Bourbon Tin Type number 1. I have never had anything from Old Soul. I don't know too much about them.
I don't think I have either.
Bourbon of the
Yeah, I don't
year.
either. You know what? I do have one bottle of Old Soul that I just put away in the closet from like a year or 2 ago. That's the only thing I know about it.
You should. That's fine. That's inside. The things that loaded over here, but the rye of the year was the Pinhook Vertical Series Rye 9-year. Was theirs for rye.
I have had, I think, 1 or 2 of those vertical series, and they are really good. Are they Pinhook's an MGP brand now, isn't it?
Yeah, they are being distilled by Castle and Key though, but their older stuff is
Oh, really?
MGP.
Oh, I
Yeah, I
didn't
mean
know that.
contract distilled.
Oh, I thought they got bought by MGP, but
Not
I
to
could
my
be making that up.
knowledge. If that, I mean, not to my knowledge, but I haven't heard anything about Pinhook in the last couple of years, so
Okay, if
let's
it's
use the
Castle
old
and Key, that
Google.
would make sense because their rye is really good.
Well, everything they've released so far, I'm pretty sure is MGP, but I just know they were doing some contract distilling with Castle and Key. Yeah, no, they're still owned by Pinhook Bourbon and Ryan Sons.
Oh, okay. I must be
Founded
thinking of
by
somebody else then.
founded by three guys. CJS Beverage Corp.
Scotch of the year was Ardbeg Eureka. And the first I had actually heard about that was earlier today because the third Saturday of the month is coming up, which is the allocated day in Utah where you can go to a liquor store and wait in line to get allocated. And there was 2 stores that were getting Ardbeg Eureka. Every other store was just getting blankets.
Have you got that yet, Jake?
Eureka? I
Yeah.
don't think so. Let me see. I don't think we do. But Artbag like their special releases kind of stopped selling.
Because you had the
Well, they just started to do so much, and
yeah.
they weren't getting the best reviews. They were all like priced much higher than their normal stuff.
Yeah. But that the punk like Sex Pistols themed one, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it was distilled from black malt.
Yeah, oh, that one's so good. It's fantastic. It's over on my shelf somewhere.
Scotch. Irish whiskey of the year, not overly hard to find. Redbreast 18-year-old.
Yeah, Redbreast is really good.
American single malt is the quintessential special release wine club. Was the single malt. American
That's
single
also
malt of the year.
very, very good.
Artbag Eureka out of stock.
Order more, Jake.
Of course it is. No, at the distributor, it's out of stock.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're a few weeks late on it. What else do we got here for whiskey? American whiskey of the year, Lasso Motel 18-year American straight whiskey.
I heard about that brand, I think in like the Sealbox newsletter. If I'm remembering right.
They had a lot that got double platinum. When you look at just
At San Francisco.
This is all
Oh, he does the same ranking thing as San Francisco?
This is double platinum. San Francisco is double gold.
Oh, okay.
Duh, come on now, get it straight. So
Yeah, like, because I
had to learn all. I had to
paying
learn
a
all
lot
this
of
stuff.
attention to.
Yeah. So when you look at, we went through the big best in shows, but all those categories are broken down into subcategories. So in terms of the bourbon, they start off with the best small batch bourbon. And that was O.H. Ingram River Age 2024 flagship Kentucky bourbon. No idea.
Never heard of that.
None of the
Never
small
heard of
batch
it.
ones. None of the small batch ones I've ever even heard of. When you go to best wheated bourbon, they had 3 that made the final. Southern Star Paragon, bottled in bond, straight bourbon whiskey.
I've heard
for best
good
wheated.
stuff about Southern Star, but I don't think I've ever tried it.
It beat out Castle and Key, Cast Strength Wheated, and Old Fitz 7-year bottled in bond. So that was your best wheated.
Castle and
best
Key
straight
made it to the
bourbon was that
finals.
Castle Key Weeded Cast Strength was in the final 3 at ASCOT for best weeded bourbon. So
I have not had their cast strength. I didn't even know they had.
We
put
have
one
it.
out.
I had their first. Oh, look at that! Helping you out with some marketing.
7-year cash strength weeded bourbon on the shelf at $59.99.
Nice.
Cha-ching.
You just know that from memory?
No, you just look it up.
Yeah. No, I knew that. 99%
best-
of the things we have, I know.
Best straight bourbon was the Old Soul. It beat out Elijah Craig C924, Angel's Envy Cast Strength Bib, Dominic's Cast Strength Bourbon, and Bardstown Weeded Bourbon for the number 1 straight bourbon. And then the best barrel finish bourbon went to Barrel King. Chicken Cock Mizunara finish was on there. The Lasso Mattel Mizunara was on here, and a Frey Ranch aged in Malbec was on here as well. Frey Ranch had like 4 or 5 double platinums, so cool to see a farm distillery really starting to put some good stuff together.
Yeah.
Best blend of straight bourbon, only one made it to the finals, and that was Dark Arts Barely Legal Bourbon Small Batch Cast Strength. And then the best craft is one that we talked about not too long ago, which is Rieger. Well, not we talked about. I mentioned Rieger in the Blind Barrels.
Yeah.
I thought the one was a Rieger. So
Where are they? The rice?
no, that's JT Mellick, and
No.
JT Mellick actually won double platinum. So
Huh.
they had a high
Oh,
one.
shit.
So rice whiskey made a double platinum.
Where's Rieger from?
Missouri.
Kansas.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
The best 11-plus year bourbon went to Old Granddad 16 year, beating out 1792 12 year and Eagle Rare 17 year. So we talked about Old Soul, one of the best bourbon. Best American Rye 11-plus years. The Sazerac 18 took that over Redemption 18 year. Best special barrel finished rye. Never heard of Kluke, blended straight rye whiskey.
No.
Nope.
It's a toasted barrel. Sir Davis American whiskey, and then Elijah toasted rye were the other ones in that category.
Sir Davis is finished. That's
Yeah.
Beyonce's thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. I forgot. Isn't it like Calvados or something?
I don't know.
They don't
I'll
really-
find it here real quick.
They don't really put it.
They didn't mark it that it's finished for sure.
Sherry finish.
Sherry finish.
$89, 44% alcohol. Bing cherry and vanilla pudding is what they had for their tasting notes on it.
What was the other one? Elijah toasted rye.
Elijah toasted rye was in the finals as well. They all lost this Kluke or K Luke.
Oh, K. Luke.
K period
Okay.
Luke. I didn't see the period at first.
Yeah.
K Luke.
No, I've heard of them.
I still never heard of them.
Pinhook was the best American rye. Best craft rye was Palmer's Stretch Authentic Rye Whiskey. And then blended straight rye was Kentucky Rambler. And the Pinhook won. Best American whiskey, you had Lasso Motel 18 year and a Frey Ranch Harvester Series. Best single malt was a Quintessential, which you talked about. And then we had
The Wine
best,
Club, baby.
The Wine Club.
Gold
Do
Eagle
you
has
still
it.
have some of those?
We do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
the
are-
best American single malt. It's delicious.
It's the
I think
Untitled Cigar
we'll have
Batch
to-
is better, but the
I
Wine
do
Club
like the
is,
Cigar Batch
like,
better.
Very, very close.
But there are people that like that Wine Club better, and I'm curious if they entered
Yeah.
both, or if they just entered the Wine Club. But let's drop a coupon for it. Let's do BM Wine for 10% off on the Quintessential Wine Club. That's BM Wine for 10% off on the Quintessential Wine Club release. Only available online through Gold Eagle's website or app.
Yeah, if you're American single malt curious, I'd start there. It's really, really good.
I'm trying to
It's
see.
really
They
good.
had
It's
another.
finished in like 3 or 4 different barrels too.
Yeah, it's really like complex without like being overly sweet or overly dry, or it's like really well balanced.
And even bourbon drinkers usually like it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, well, there's a couple ones that you can get still at Heaven Hill, or at not Heaven Hill, Jesus Christ, at Gold Eagle. Don't know what I was saying there. Yeah, pretty well rounded. If you go through all the double platinums and stuff, that's what their highest ones are. Not all of them get to go to the finals, but a pretty good mix of different things there. But it's nice to see that more and more, like you're not seeing it all loaded up with the big boys with the BTAC stuff and everything at the top anymore like it used to be. You're seeing a lot more well-rounded. You're seeing a lot of crafts. You're seeing a lot that Barrel House or Barrel King, which is a club that you are a part of, and they're all hand procured barrels. Had like 7 or 8 that had double platinum.
It's really good to see a lot of new smaller brands on the list for these awards.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting. We'll have to, Jake, I'm sure you're going to go through the list and see some of the stuff that you can get and see some of the distilleries that you can get in stock. I, for one, would love to see Mellick on the shelf, but I'm not sure if they distribute it in Illinois. But they had, seeing their rice whiskey on there was pretty cool for a double platinum. But, yeah, no, hopefully you can find some of these things out there. Don't always necessarily have to believe in what other people say, though, because there's stuff on there that I can look at and know that I've tried and didn't like that much. But no, I know everyone is pretty big on the quintessential stuff, all the different types that you guys got in. So it's really cool to see some local distilleries that aren't Kentucky that are starting to make big noise. Even seeing Frey Ranch with like 5 or 6 up there with double platinum is pretty good. So
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's some of the biggest news that's been going on lately.
Yeah, it's been quiet out there.
Summer's usually kind of dies out. There's not a lot of big releases usually in the summer because they're all saving up for the Q3, Q4 push for sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, saving up for
Summer
Kentucky Bourbon Fest and end of the year drops.
Mm-hmm.
But Dan, I see you can now wait in line and get your Blantons and Taylors. You just sent us a list today with the next Utah
only one
release.
Store is getting Taylors. Yeah, only one store is getting Taylors. I was checking to see if there's going to be any Eagle Rare 12, because if there was, I might have waited in line just to see what it's like for the experience, but I'm not going to go wait in line for a Blanton's.
It's like, I don't get why they released Eagle 12 when they already have 10 and 17.
Well, why not?
The stock for it. Yeah, they got the stock.
Yeah,
for it.
they were
like it's
fair,
two years difference. Like, who cares?
Yeah, but people will buy it and search for it.
I know,
and it'll keep tenure off the shelf.
I'm being a little cynical. I know why they did it.
I know, but it'll keep tenure off the shelf.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
But at the same point, they didn't price gouge for it either.
What do they charge for it?
It's like $5 or $10 more. Yeah, it's like $5 more than the 10-year.
That's not too bad then.
No, where else are you going to find 10 and 12 year for the price you get Eagle Rare for?
Yeah.
Again, at the end of the day, it's a solid bourbon.
It should still be the like $10 cheaper than it was at the beginning of the year, or whatever their price increase was.
Starlight announced today they're releasing a 10-year bourbon.
I saw that.
$250 MSRP.
That's too much.
That's Willet.
So you know it's still going to sell.
Yeah, it will, but
Well, Purple Top money's more than that.
Well, and like Starlight's not even like proven with unfinished whiskey.
No, but
Like,
I do think people have been like we've talked about this on the podcast. People wanted to see older age statements from Starlight. There's no reason why they should only be releasing 4 and 5 year finished bourbons. Like
unless it's really
start
bad.
start
They should
start to
have.
get some 7 year, some 8 year, and then okay, they just come out of nowhere with a 10 year.
They should have priced it at
So
like $99, and
well,
then people
yeah,
would
I
buy it
mean
and be like, "Oh wow, they actually do have really good unfinished
Why
bourbon."
don't you do that when you
They-
can sell it for $250?
yeah, it's gonna sell.
Well,
They only have 8 barrels of it for the country,
Oh, okay.
and who
That's
knows what
different
was
then.
left in those barrels? Probably half. So really 4 barrels.
If you're lucky,
Yeah,
If it's
and it
that
comes in
limited,
a
then
really
that makes a
really
little more
nice
sense.
box,
Ooh, I'm sure.
Wood box or cardboard?
a wood box.
These fucking cardboard boxes, Jesus Christ. And when Angel sent me did that, I got pissed off. That's the last.
We'll pop one at
Yeah,
the bar.
that was so
We'll-
funny when you how pissed you got about that box.
It was for the ice cider finish.
Yeah,
Release a couple years ago, Jake.
Yeah, I remember when they switched to the cheaper
Which-
boxes.
The
that was
cardboard, I'm
a
like,
pretty good whiskey, but yeah, the
that
box
was a really good whiskey, but
super
it was a
disappointing.
shitty box for a $200 some bottle of whiskey. It's not like
Yeah, it was like $250 or $70, and they did
it
have
should
one of
open
the
up with
nicer
LED
boxes.
lights and
They did. I have that's what my box from the port finish cast strength. I got one of my first like nice bottles I bought. That box has like a nice little window in it, and had like
Mhm.
nice literature inside and a nice hatch. So that had the original list to my first Infinity bottle, and that's got like all my corks in it because it looks nice on the shelf. Then I get a green cardboard box. I can't do jack shit with. So, fuck, Booker's is half the price of what that is and comes in a way nicer box.
I love the Booker's box. That will always be my favorite box.
Yeah, there's not a lot that come in boxes. Well, I guess all the special releases. Yes, but that box is more favored over the Weller Millennium.
Yeah, I mean the Booker's box. Like I've always been a fan of Booker's, and it was actually handcrafted by one dude from the start. Now, of course, he's not handcrafting all the boxes, but I think it's with like his company, and I just love how it says Booker's on the side, and I love the glass on the front so that you can see inside to the bottle. It's nothing like overly fancy, but I just love the Booker's boxes. Actually, hold on one second.
Your definition of glass is way different than mine. You didn't hear that off the.
no, he did not hear
Look,
that.
you can do
It's
cool things
plexi.
like store your corks. you know.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, it's
but the one thing I have
plexiglass.
to say, yeah, it's not your definition of glass and mine are completely different.
Whatever.
'Cause
Whatever
that's
you
not-
want to call it. Whatever you
Plastic.
want to call it. It's a cool box.
Yeah, I got
do
I got
cool
a
things like
little
this.
book box. Now that my Angels Envy box is full, I use my little book box in the next one. So I'm using one.
Yeah, I like the
Wanna-
tube that Hardin's
Don't say
Creek came in. The like tin tube.
The little
is
Tin
pretty cool.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
you
the
had one of the
tubes
worst
that
boxes. You had one of the worst, most expensive boxes, Jake.
these are nice tubes too.
Oh yeah, those are
Courage and
really
Conviction
nice.
tubes.
Those are the best
They would
tubes.
lock and everything, so it's pretty nice.
Jake, you had one of the worst, most expensive boxes I've ever seen in my life. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
The Lock Stock 21 year. Because like nothing was square on the box and nothing
Oh
lined
yeah,
up.
it was
and-
horribly constructed.
Yeah, it's like Jake, you were there. We had some. It was one of the podcasts you joined on. We were getting hammered afterwards, But like the magnets didn't even line up for it to shut back together.
Yeah.
Right? It was
That's
It was
right.
like if you gave like a 7-year-old like a plastic saw and been like, "Hey, build a box." That's what it looked like.
I forgot about that.
And you paid like a couple $100 for that bottle. Jesus, yeah. If
You
you're
know what?
gonna put a box in it, make it a good box. Don't use cardboard. If it's gonna be over $100 some, you're past cardboard.
Pendleton 20 or
2021.
21. That's a
Yeah.
nice box too.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a cattle gate.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, that's
All right.
great
Well,
box.
we could keep talking about boxes, or we could wrap
what
up.
type?
We'll save it for the next episode.
Next episode exclusively about packaging and boxes.
Drop
should
a
do some
comment.
unpacking.
What box did we forget?
Yeah.
What packaging do you think is great? Like, maybe we should do an episode on packaging and bottles and boxes. And does it make a difference?
Sure.
We can think about that. Jake, some of the stuff that's on the ASCOT Double Platinum and ASCOT Best in Show awards you guys got on the shelf. You dropped a coupon code for the Quintessential Wine Club. Where can people find this stuff? Where can they order it?
Yeah, goldeaglewine.com. Come visit us in Libertyville at 255 Peterson Road. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at Gold Eagle Wine, Facebook at Gold Eagle Spirits. I'll drop the code again, BM Wine, for 10% off the Quintessential Wine Club release, which was just named the Best American Single Malt by Fred Minnick's ASCOT Awards.
Jake,
And he wears a scarf around his neck, so you know he's right.
Yes, very fancy.
Get it right. It's nasty. Jake, where can people listen to our episodes?
You can listen to us on Google, Apple, or Spotify, or pretty much any other podcast platform. You can watch us on Spotify and YouTube. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Bourbon Matters. Make sure you like, subscribe, click the notification bell, follow us, all that kind of fun stuff. Make sure you leave comments about what type of packaging you want us to talk about.
All right, guys. Good to see you again. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.